You are now tuned in to Power Podcasts, the Empower Hour. Peace and blessings, beautiful souls. I am Brandi L. Bates, author of Moonshine for the Soul, The Art of Grind, and many other books. I'll be your host for tonight. You can find me on Twitter at Soledad Francis and on Instagram at Brandi is Winning. Most of these podcasts can be found archived on YouTube. Hashtag Power Podcasts, but please listen to them while they still have all of their spirit and vitality by subscribing to us on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and or brandybates.podomatic.com. Hadouken! Golden Repair. Resilience, growth, and Kintsukuroi. Because you are better than you think you are. You're better than you think you are. You know more than you ever divulge to any one soul. Golden Repair is about resilience, grit, post-traumatic growth. It's about finding the beauty in broken people and finding beauty in this broken world. I say it all the time. We live in an amazing, incredibly gorgeous, beautiful world. The mountains, the oceans, the rivers, the sea, the skies, the seasons, the animals, nature, raw, untapped, untainted nature is so incredibly beautiful. But mankind, society, the matrix, the system, the isms, that's what fucks everything up. And as long as we have to operate and exist and have our being in this beast system that is so full of injustice and ugliness and pain and despair and the haves and the have-nots and wealth and poverty and crime and etc., etc., etc. We have to learn to find the little pockets of beauty and joy and happiness and serenity and peace. Every morning, my prayer is to have my day just filled with serenity and tranquility. In all the hustle and bustle, I just want peace of mind. Different researchers emphasize the subtle distinctions within the larger truth that more often than not, we are better than we think we are. A lot of times, case in point, you can go back and look at old pictures of you. Now, if you're over the age of 35 and you go back and look at some pictures of you in your early 20s, you know, you're fighting weight. You're like, damn, I thought I was fat too, right? Like, I thought I was, you know, I wish I can be the weight I was when I thought I was fat, right? And the older you get, you realize, you know, I really was covered. I really was blessed. I was winning and I didn't realize it. Because so often we have to look back at the wounds and the battle scars and really see them for what they are. Hindsight is 20/20, right? You don't see things and understand it in its fullness until you get to the end of the race. Until you get to the end of the game. We are stronger. We are more adaptive. We are wiser than we give ourselves credit for oftentimes. And when things go wrong, most people, most of the time, do not dry up or crumble and fall to pieces. We're better able to withstand the disappointments and tragedies, hardships and tempests that rage during the span of our all too human lives. I say all the time, absolutely, you want to have a backup plan. You want to have a plan B and a plan C and a plan D, and you want to try to think things out before you make illogical, irrational decisions. But at the same token, like, you're not going to starve. You're not going to die. Most people, all these what if, these far-fetched ideas are what hold us back. But when trauma does occur, rude and unexpected, right? It often cuts at our very foundations. It disrupts the most fundamental truths we'd held about our time on this earth, on this planet, on this plane of existence, in our lives, in our homes, when people are ripped from our lives, right? When the death or the loss of a loved one, the end of a career, the end of a life, or even the birth of a new life, and the transition of a new type of existence. We want to believe that the world is good and just and beautiful and fair. And we go about ordering our lives as such. And then one of the inconvenient, inconsiderate facts of our lives happens. Understand, I think it was Jean Shinoda Bolin who said, when you recover or discover something that nourishes your soul and brings joy, care enough about yourself to make room for it in your life. Sometimes you meet someone who will so completely permeate your thoughts and your thought world, and you just know beyond a shadow of a doubt that they were meant to help you do something life altering. It could be a lover, it could be a friend, it could be a coworker, it could be a colleague, it could be someone you met in the Uber pool, it could be someone you met on a dating site, it could be someone you went to school with, it could be someone who plays on your team. It could be someone who attends your church or synagogue or mosque, right? And I believe that we are only sent a handful of these souls in a single lifetime. And you'll know these people, you'll know these souls by the way they make you feel. You will know them by their impact and influence on your life and on your actions and on your day-to-day. How often you think about them. You can try to block somebody out, but if you have certain strong emotions towards them and feelings toward them, this means something. You are always consistently being guided where you are meant to ultimately be. I'll repeat that. You are always constantly being guided where you are meant to ultimately be. Moisture, greenness, life. Have to do with feelings, love, innocence, the heart, right? And tears. Think about it. All of the fluids in our body become moist when we are moved. Stay with me. All the fluids in our body become moist when we are moved. We cry, we lubricate, we bleed, we sweat. All of the numinous experiences of our bodies have to do with moisture. And it's moisture that brings life to this planet. The cerebral spinal fluid, semen, vaginal fluid, tears, sweat, blood. It's moisture that brings life to this planet. That is the cure for the desert experience. And you are going to experience the desert experience. I'm going to do a whole podcast on that in the near future. But you may experience the desert experience several times in your life. It's one of the most life-defining, life-altering valley experiences and desert experiences and peak experiences. Those are the pivotal moments of our lives. But someone once said, the cure for anything is salt water, sweat, tears, or the sea. Cry that thing out, sweat it out, or get to the ocean. Get to the sea. Get out in nature. Bliss and joy come in moments of living our highest truth. You're not even going to get real, genuine, like 100% pure joy unless it's the moments when you're living your highest truth. When you're raw, when you're transparent, when you're real. Moments when what we do is consistent with our archetypal depths. In Japan, I've been doing this study here recently on blacks in Asia. I'm going to share some things via probably Twitter, some links coming up on this study of blacks in Asia and throughout the African diaspora, outside of the States, North America, Central America, and some of the developed Western nations, United Kingdom and things of that nature. But in Japan, there is a 400-year-old art form called Kintsukuroi, which means to repair with gold. Golden repair. When a ceramic pot or bowl would break, the artisan would put the pieces together again using gold or silver lacquer to create something stronger, more beautiful than it was before. And so the breaking is not something to hide. It does not mean that the work of art is ruined or, without value, because it is different than what was planned. Kintsukuroi is a way of living that embraces every flaw and imperfection. Every crack is part of the history of the object, and it becomes more beautiful precisely because it had been broken. Stay with me. People are the same way. You're the same way. Each and every man and woman and child that's hearing the sound of my voice right now, you're the same way. You're more beautiful in the places where you've been broken. How do I know this? Sometimes when everything we value and have built up and cared for over the years falls to pieces, marriages, people going into foreclosure, losing their homes, the end of a program, getting your PhD, finally, your master's degree, sitting for your thesis and your paper, or graduating, getting married, having a child, having to bury a parent or a loved one, etc., etc., etc. When everything we value, everything we've built up, we've cared for this, we've nurtured this, we've nourished this, we've birthed pieces of ourselves into this thing over the years, falls to pieces. We are better able to see opportunities and possibilities that would have never presented themselves had life not been torn to absolute rags, to pieces. And I'm telling you this, I speak from experience, people. This is my testimony, right? If you don't listen to shit else, affiliated with Power Podcast, hear me when I say this. Like, I've lost so much shit over the course of my life. I've lost so much shit. I've been through divorce. I've buried my parents. I've loved and lost, right? And I'm just saying I'm coming from real life shit. This ain't some shit out of a book. But I'm here to tell you that truly, when you get to the pinnacle, and there will be several times that this happens, where like you really don't even fucking know what direction to go in. You may have got laid off. You know, the company is restructuring and shit. They gave you your pink slip. Or somebody you've been with for years and years and years, and now it's over. Or death or sickness, like grave stage 4 illness, and you really don't even know where to turn. I'm telling you, it's in those moments there will be a sense of clarity that will come over you, but you cannot embrace fear and feel that same peace. They cannot exist in the same body. Standing and staring in the face of broken promises and broken dreams, eye to bloodshot fucking eye, with our most assiduous fears. Everything shattered and tattered and in pieces at your feet. Sometimes we discover that we were stronger than we imagined, that we can withstand more, and that there is no reason to really fear. Like, you're gonna die anyway. So get that out of the way. You're gonna die anyway. We're all gonna die. Death is just as much a part of life as giving birth and living and laughing and loving and all that other corny shit. So, period. You're gonna die of something. So now, in the time you hear, what are you gonna do with that time? And are you gonna allow setbacks and disappointments and heartache and heartbreak and shit not meeting up to your standards and your expectations? Are you gonna allow that to dash your hopes? Or are you just gonna keep it moving? And once you realize, you know what, if it can't kill me, ultimately, like, I'm gonna be better, I'll be wiser, I'll be stronger, I can have more finesse because I'm coming at it with more experience. Like, you start not giving a fuck. And really, when people get older, you meet older people who just talk shit. Like, they don't care about your feelings. They do not care if they hurt your they just gonna speak their truth. That's because they've realized, you know what the fuck, what's the worst that can fucking happen? What's the worst that can happen? You die? Or you get better? Sometimes, I don't know who needs to hear this. Sometimes trauma brings us closer to God or to our purpose in life, in this life, or leaves us more appreciative than we were before. Appreciative and even happy, bliss, joy. And when we are betrayed by someone we've loved or taken advantage of, sometimes, every now and then, it is our faith, it is our trust in others that actually grows stronger sometimes. Like, have you ever met somebody that really been through some shit? Like, you see these guys all the time who were sentenced to life in prison for the wrong reasons. And DNA finally will say, hey, this person had nothing to do with this crime. And this man or woman may have done 20, 30, 40 years of their life in prison for a crime they never committed. But you notice when they all come out, they're so peaceful. They have a spirit of peace over them. That's like, are you kidding me? They can't give you back your youth. They can't give you back the years that you were in that fucking dungeon. But these people are almost always Nelson Mandela, Madiba, Anybody who's extremely suffered, you notice it softens them. It makes them more beautiful. I'm not saying it's honorable to suffer or nothing like that. Please don't twist my words. But what I'm saying is you get something from that experience that you can't get any other way. It softens you. It humbles you. It brings you closer to your purpose. It brings you closer to God. We look around at all the friends and acquaintances and strangers that come rushing to our aid, and our faith in human goodness is restored. Cherish your relationships. Nurture them. Purpose is our engine in this life. And nothing and no one can ever fill the void of fulfilling your purpose. It transcends society, beliefs, and expectations beyond school and career. It's so much bigger than any of that. As a philosophy, kintsugi can be seen, or kintsukuroi can be seen to have similarities to the Japanese philosophy of wabi-sabi, an embracing of the flawed or imperfect. So this is from Wikipedia. Japanese aesthetic values marks of wear by the use of an object. This can be seen as a rationale for keeping an object around even after it has broken, and as a justification of kintsugi itself, highlighting the cracks and repairs as simply an event in the life of an object, rather than allowing its service to end at the time of its damage or breakage. Kintsugi, Japanese, golden joinery, or kintsukuroi, Japanese, golden repair. It's the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery with lacquer dusted or mixed with powdered gold, silver, or platinum. There's a reason why they say shit's tried in the fire. As a philosophy, it treats breakage and repair as part of the history of an object rather than something to disguise. I don't want anybody emailing me talking about something they said about the gold and the bowl, some Japanese shit, right? The soul is placed in the body like a rough diamond, folks, and it must be polished. Like when you're in your 20s, you in your 30s, you're being polished. You're being polished, or the luster of it will never appear. All the places where you've been broken, you're being made better. The true cost of anything is what we give up in order to have it. It is the path not taken. So your soul is a compass. Change one coordinate in your spiritual compass and you change your entire direction. It's like Nietzsche said, there are no facts, only interpretations. Everything you see, everything you do, everything you believe is something that was handed to you through someone else's interpretation. Understand, when you are ready, the spirit world will show you things that others, they're not prepared to see, cannot understand, and cannot realize. Because when you believe something is hard, the universe will demonstrate the difficulty. If you think it's hard to become a millionaire, or it's hard to get debt free, or it's impossible to find lasting healing or love, that will be your reality. Period. When you believe something is easy, the universe demonstrates the ease. We have to tell the story of our lives as we now want our lives to be. Stop talking about all the times, you've been manhandled and mishandled and misjudged and prejudged and done dirty. How do you want your future to look? It's like people say, well, I'll find time. Don't find time. You're never gonna find time. You have to make time. What does the future hold? Whatever you put in it. The future is built up of your habits, your mindset, and the way you attack problems in life. What's it gonna take to reach the pinnacle of your highest self? At the end of the day, that's your greatest question. What is your vision of your ultimate? What is your vision for your ultimate existence and lifestyle? Ernest Hemingway said it best. He said, the world breaks everyone, and afterward, many are strong at the broken places. Everything is a learning experience. Nothing comes fucking cheap. If shit was easy, everybody would be balling. Everybody would be healthy. Everybody would have a size, 4 waist. Everybody would be ripped and you know what I mean? Everything can change. And everything will change. Nothing in your life ever has to remain the way it is. Nothing. All of it can be altered and made better and improved. See your scars as badges, not of failure or pain, but as symbols that you survived a battle. You didn't succumb. Your scars are what set you apart. What makes you different or weird. That is your strength. You're not shattered. You're a mosaic of the battles you've won. See, we have to unlearn a lot of shit. We have to unlearn a lot of shit that we learned from wounded people, from broken people, from people who only experienced trauma or Jim Crow South or recession or the Great Depression, or you know what I mean? These are the people we learn shit from. And we often will take on their battle scars as well. Because we've bought into it and subscribed to it and feed on it every time we go through struggle and hardship. What if the true reason you may not have the productivity or prosperity you long for? It's not because such rewards are not meant for you, but due to patterns of deep self-sabotage that are keeping you stuck. I can promise you, the reason you're not achieving what it is that it's like right on the eclipse, right? Whether it's a 6-pack or it's 6 figures or 7 figures or just like lasting happiness. I can promise you it has something to do with your psychology, your mindset, and your belief system and your habits. You have to be willing to see things differently first. Only a quiet mind can hear intuition whispering. Only a quiet mind is able to hear intuition over fear. Learn to differentiate between the sound of your intuition guiding you and your trauma misleading you. Gabrielle Bernstein in her book, The Universe Has Your Back. She said, trust that your wounds are exactly as the universe planned. They were divinely placed in your life in the perfect order so that you could show up for them with love and remember the light within. I maintain this. I believe that everything that we go through is custom retrofitted for our strengths and individual weaknesses. Even like where you live, what you're drawn to, who you're attracted to, what pulls you. It's delicately woven into your personality, who you're compatible with, who you're not compatible with, the lessons that you're meant to learn, even your foibles and idiosyncrasies has everything to do with the call on your life. Everyone else, understand, everyone else is just trying to figure shit out too. Even the calm and collected ones, many quote unquote experts, are just a step or two ahead of you. It's just somebody who made one better decision than you, or have a little bit more privilege than you, or were born to parents or family that was a little wealthier and did things just slightly different than yours. That's it. There is so much wisdom and beauty that comes from living a full life. There is a wealth to be gained from even the most painful of experiences. Meaning changes based on where you place your awareness and dominant attitude. And that's for every aspect of your life. And so we open our eyes and we think, we're seeing the whole world out there, right? But what has become clear, and really just in the last few centuries, is that when you look at the electromagnetic spectrum, we are seeing less than 1/10 of the information that's riding on there. Like, you don't see shit. It's a whole world out there. And what you see is like a fucking speck. It's a speck. What we see is a speck of lint in a 200,000 square foot mansion. So we call that visible light. But everything else passing through our bodies is completely invisible to us. Even though we accept the reality that's presented to us, the sun is rising each morning, you see waves, you see people, right? We're really only seeing a little window of what's happening. So what does this mean? You're not perceiving what's all out there. You're perceiving whatever your brain tells you. When things change inside you, things change around you. And you can take that to the bank. When things change inside you, things change around you. Facts. Fendi facts, right? Evolve solutions. When you find a good one, don't stop. Like, when shit is working for you, whatever's working for you, keep riding that wave till you get to the next one. The key is to integrate mindfulness into everything you are and do, to observe yourself and your dreams, to just be sometimes. And then the answers will come, always. Just because you believe something to be true, you believe in, whatever your belief system is. Just because it's true in your mind, that doesn't even mean it's true. Keep living. Like the old folks used to say, keep living. You make plans and shit goes totally left. Because you don't have all the answers. None of us do. And in a world where even self-hatred is a multi-billion-dollar industry, loving yourself, it's a revolutionary act. Just to be like, what? I'm good. I'm whole as is. I'm dope as is. Shout out to Relinquishware, right? Dope as is. I'm good as I am. Yeah, I may need to lose weight or gain weight or gains or get a little more money or, get a little bit more education, but I'm good. I'm good where I am. By living as your whole self, you can literally tear the fabric of reality and create a whole new paradigm for yourself, your family, the people around you. Rumi said, stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. And that's real. We are made of star stuff, folks. We are always connected to something larger than us. There comes a time when we all have to reorganize our priorities and take responsibilities for every aspect of our lives. Focus on your own energy and be your own powerful guide. Write out the things you want to create. Not what you should have, or not what other people acknowledge as status symbols. Like, do you want a Rolex because everybody says a Rolex is a status symbol? Or do you really just, there's a longing in your soul for a Rolex? That's what I'm talking about. Write out your wildest, brightest, most joyous ideas, projects, and adventures. Write the vision and make it plain. No one is having an experience of the objective reality that really exists. Each creature perceives only what it has evolved to perceive. And so that's why sometimes the end of the road, a relationship runs its course, because you're expecting somebody to have the same understanding and belief systems and outlook on things who they're not even there yet. They're not even there yet. They don't even have the fucking spiritual eyes or maturity to even handle it. So in 2020, next decade, right? In 2020, or whenever you're listening to this, get in alignment with the highest quality souls you can find. Highest quality souls you can find. Find those spaces and places. Get in alignment with the movers, with the shakers, and the winners, the people who are moving forward. You can't separate the human, the mind, the person from the body or the environment. You are always and consistently a product of your environment. You are always the average of those who you are surrounded by, who you spend your most time with, always. And so take a good look at like all the motherfuckers you got around you. Is this who you want to be like? Do these people inspire you? What are their goals? What are their objectives? What are they pouring back into the community? What are they pouring into you? What are they pouring into themselves? Are they toxic? Are they growing? Are they healthy? Right? These are questions you have to answer for yourself. And who you are depends on the sum total of all of your neurobiology, your physiology, your mindset, your thoughts, your habits, all of it. Your prayers, they are always answered, although they're not always answered in the way you may expect. Because understand, sometimes not getting the shit you thought you wanted is really a hidden blessing. When things change inside you again, things change around you. And take this one for the road. The Noah rule, the Noah rule, the Noah rule. Noah, like as in the Bible, like. The Noah rule says that predicting rain doesn't even count. But building an ark does. Just because you know something don't mean shit. What are you doing? What are you practicing? How are you living? Golden Repair is about radical self-growth. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for your essence, for your time, for rocking with us. Talk to you next week. Peace.